Welcome everyone to Life Lessons from Hollywood Movies, presented by my organization, The Zen of Hollywood, and me, your host, David McKay. This segment is very simple. We basically extract life lessons from movies and use simple, practical techniques to help us improve our lives and become happier, which is what I believe we all desire. Okay, today we're going to take a look at this dynamic of heal ourselves and heal the world. We've heard it before a million times. Be the change that you want to see in the world. We're going to talk about this through the lens of a very, very relevant film, The Hate You Give, starring Amandla Stenberg, Regina Hall, Anthony Mackie, and Russell Hornsby. If you haven't seen this film yet, you might want to watch it first before this segment. There are spoilers ahead. Okay, let's cut to the chase. The main gist of this film, as you know, involves Star, the main character, who's out riding around with Khalil, right? They're driving around, and what happens? They're pulled over by a white Caucasian police officer who ends up shooting and killing Khalil. And of course, this reflects real life events in the United States in which police officers end up killing minorities, including African American citizens. So, as I said, a relevant film. Now, I don't want to get into the blame game of who's to blame and pointing fingers, because really this is the us versus them mentality that really doesn't find any solutions. We can't get there to solutions that way. Obviously, we need to have justice, and we need to do the best to achieve justice. But this us versus them mentality is just what the ego likes, and it's a win-lose proposition in the end. Instead, we need to, well, as Einstein said, we can't find solutions to our problems with the same level of consciousness that created the problems in the first place. So let's talk about how we can do that. Remember that scene in which Star and her family is confronting King, right? There's a big confrontation with King, who is this leader of this drug ring of her community. And guns are drawn, the police are there, and their guns are drawn, ready to shoot. And it looks like we were going to have disaster and tragedy once again. And what happens? Star steps up and she says, enough, right? She says, enough. And she goes beyond that, and she ends up bringing up the title of the film, Thug, which is an acronym, of course, for The Hate You Give. So the hate you give, what does she say? She says, not the hate you give, but the hate we give. I thought that was very important, because she's recognizing that blame is not going to get us there, as I said, but responsibility is. And really, she recognizes that everyone is responsible, not just the African American community, not just the white Caucasian community, but everybody needs to be responsible. Now, so how can we be responsible? Well, we need to recognize that an underlying truth, that any hatred, anger, shame, or anything that we're projecting onto the community is something that we need to take a look at in ourselves. That is, if I dislike somebody, hate, or are very angry with somebody, those are energies that I have to deal with in myself. And if that's chronic and if that's really strong, that's an energy that's already inside of me that's being activated, that I need to address, that I need to confront. And that's very important. I mean, this comes down to a basic psychology principle, right? That says whatever you dislike in someone else is something that you dislike in yourself. So take a look at the movie. When you watched it, did you feel yourself siding with one group or another? Did you feel any dislike or even hatred towards one individual? When you find that happening, you need to, as I said, realize that that's something going on inside of you. So that's an opportunity to take a look at that. And it takes courage to do so, but that's what we need if we're going to really resolve these issues and the racism that we have in our society and others. Now, that's exactly what, by the way, that Star did in the film. She confronted her shame, right? And she realized that she was acting differently in her community than she was at her predominantly white Caucasian high school. And she thought, this is ridiculous. I need to be proud of who I am. and be the person that I am. That's very important, right? And that's what she said at the end of the film. So she confronted her shame, but we need to take it one step further, I think. We need to, yes, be proud of who we are, including our race, ethnic group, and so on and so forth. But we need to look beyond that and see the commonalities that we all share. And that one commonality is the divine essence that we all are. The truth of the matter is we are all one. That's the level of consciousness that we have to get to, recognizing our inherent unity. Now, that's not a philosophical statement. That is truth. And once we do that, we realize that whatever I do to someone else, I do to myself, literally. And this truth is reflected in that one scene between Star and her boyfriend, Chris. Remember what happened? Star said something to the effect, "You need to be able to see my blackness." And Chris said something, "I see you," is what he said. Yes, he saw her blackness, is what he meant by that. But he also was trying to say that he could see beyond that to her essence. And that is the truth that's going to bring us together, realizing that we are really all one and the same essence. Okay, so what did you think? I'd love to hear your comments about these particular thoughts. And what did you think was the main life lesson that you took from this film? And for more tips, life lessons in movies, and especially simple practical tips that we can put into practice to help us become happier, feel free to visit my website, thezenofhollywood.com. That's thezenofhollywood.com. And feel free to like this video and to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.